if you could give us a sense of how important really is this first India-Nordic summit? What are the expectations of the big takeaways from it?
Well, what is significant about this meeting is that the Indian Prime Minister has taken the initiative to meet all the Nordic Prime Ministers at the same time. I do not recollect in my memory before an Indo-Nordic summit of this size before in my career, but this is a great opportunity for the Prime Minister to meet. There's always been a very good political relationship between the Nordic countries and India, and there have also been always very good trade and investment relationships between the Nordic countries and India. But these relations need to be deepened. Trade has to be further increased, and there are lots of opportunities, especially in the area of innovation, the digital transformation, and lots of opportunities for generating growth and jobs by increasing trade between the Nordic countries and India.
As far as the summit is concerned, what would you say are the 3 big ticket items on the agenda to watch out for?
It's innovation, growth, job and trade is one. Second are security issues. What are the contemporary security issues that we're all dealing with? And the third, climate change and empowerment of women.
India recently had the International Solar Alliance as well, and given the United States' position on the Climate Change Pact, what kind of a role do you think India and Mr. Modi personally can play on it?
Well, India was a key player in reaching the conclusion in Paris at the Paris Summit. And India is a huge economy, huge player internationally, and India has been showing leadership with a couple of initiatives. The Solar Alliance. Also, India has announced a substantial increase of use of renewable energy, up to 175 gigawatts before 2022. These are substantial contributions from India. And in terms of climate change, we see eye to eye together, the Nordic countries and the Indian government. We all strong supporters of the Paris Agreement. And the Nordic countries are champions when it comes to renewable energy. And considering the role and the interest of India to increase renewable energy, we have lots of technology, knowledge and experience to offer. Iceland, for example, we are almost 90% renewable.
Signed with Iceland, what would you say, is going to be a significant takeaway with India when he holds the bilateral talks with Iceland?
Well, this is a bilateral meeting that takes place in the context of the multilateral meeting of the Nordics with the Prime Minister. So it is not, the bilateral meeting that we are having is not the sort that you would be having in your own capital, where you would put much more work into it in terms of agreements and conclusions. What the Prime Minister of Iceland will be emphasizing in her conversation with the Prime Minister will be areas of cooperation, increased trade. She'll be focusing on the areas where we work in India, especially we've been focusing a lot on geothermal energy in India and renewable energy. There are projects that we've been working on, and we want to advance those projects by discussing them with the Prime Minister. Climate change and research related to climate change is another area, glaciology, for example. And also, finally, what can we do in terms of cooperation with respect to gender equality and empowerment of women, both at the global level and in our cooperation? Can we link more together with women's entrepreneurs, for example, women engaged in trade and commerce? These are issues that she will be raising.
Thank you so much.